What's going on? I'm back. It's Tuesday. I know I'm supposed to have this out on Monday, but I didn't want to record another shitty video from the makeshift studio from my Paris, Las Vegas hotel room. So anyways, I'm back, and it's a day late, but I'm still here. Literally just got off the flight, ran home to my computer so the tryhards can have their course preview, because we know that I'm probably the only one doing a course preview out there. I'm, of course, joking, but I am going to talk a little contest selection and pricing thoughts if you like this show. Just know, if you look up here, I do this every Monday. I know it's Tuesday. Shut the fuck up. And, of course, we got the Wednesday live stream coming up, which you should be here, 7 o'clock Lord's time zone. Some have called it the most popular PGA DFS stream in the industry. It depends on the week. And, of course, we do Showdown Hoedown every Friday and Saturday night. And if you don't know, Showdown's where it's at, man. It killed me because I was in Vegas, and you can't play DraftKings in Vegas. And so I couldn't play round 3 and round 4 Showdown. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It sucked. That's what I did. By the way, 1 year anniversary is coming up. I was going to celebrate it this week, but I'm just too far behind. So I'm just going to roll this over to the PGA Championship. So be looking out for that. 1 year of a channel. I just want to thank all of you again who have subscribed and watched everything. Support the cause. Appreciate every one of you. Going to be doing tons of giveaways as always, because we're not fucking poors around here. All right, let's get to it. If you don't know, this is the Wells Fargo, played at Quail Hollow, which is awesome. It's a great course. You know why? Because it's hard. All right. I don't want to see him boat race another course. Okay. I don't want to see John Rahm 10 under every round. Okay. Tony Finau. Good call for not being a tout. I'm on a roasty fucking tout run right now. Okay. Let's see. Quail Hollow. What do you want to know about this course? Well, it's long, it's hard, it's difficult. That's good. And it's an elevated event this year, which I'm not going to go on a whole thing here, but these elevated events are pissing me off, right? Because what it does is it's basically making all the other non-elevated, non-major fields just fucking suck. Back in the day, you would have, like, this time of year, all your fields would be average, above average, or good. But now you're basically forcing all these top players to go to these certain few tournaments, and all these other ones are getting fucked, and I hate it. I would rather have good fields every week, above average and good fields every week, than these great fields every third week. Maybe I'm in the minority, but that's my opinion on it, Bob. Deal with it. We were lucky just to get Rahm and Finau last week. More on the field in a little bit. But if you don't know, Scotty's not here. Scotty Scheffler's not here. Jonathan Ramathan's not here. So, you know, the two definitive best players this year are not here. But let's talk a little bit about the course, okay? Is this course be long and hard? That's what you're going to want to know, right? And it has the famous Green Mile, 16, 17, 18. We're in that time of year where all these courses have their little 3-hole names, right? And they're pretty brutal, right? I mean, they're pretty brutal. It's not just that you can't make birdie on them. It's just that, like, you're going to make a bogey a lot of times, right? But where this course really gets you is the long par 4s and the long par 3s will just eat you alive, right? Yes, we got 3 par 5s, right? Par 71. So, and no surprise, those are the 3 of the 4 easiest holes on the course. They do have a couple short drivable par 4s, not quite drivable, but like very, you can get it down there and almost do it. So you're going to have to do almost all your scoring on those 2 shorter par 4s and on the 3 par 5s. That's where the scoring gets done. And then after that, you just hold the fuck on. And why I love a week like this is because everybody's going to say you got to play bombers this week. It's going to be all the same lazy narratives you heard last week. They're going to say you have to play good guys with good long irons. And I actually think that both of those can be true. But to just completely discount guys who are scrappy and know how to put a round together, maybe, the sum of their parts is greater than any one individual. Like let's just use Brian Harmon. For whatever reason, that little hobbit plays so well at these long, difficult courses. In Quail Hollow, he actually has a tremendous course history at. So I think you got to be very careful, because the chalk is going to pool just like it did last week, because people are going to hear, oh, you got to have guys who head that far because those courses are long and hard. And yes, that's a good thing. But it's not the end-all, be-all. And to say that only one type of player can perform well here, I think is disingenuous. I want guys who can grind, because I would bet the winning score this week is going to be somewhere around -9 to -12 range, right? Which is fun. Those are the fun tournaments. You're also going to have a brutal cut, right? There's going to be 3 or 4 high-owned guys that are just going to implode this week, because this is a course that can make you implode, right? There's just not a lot of chances to get it, and it gets you a lot. All right, the big thing you want to know, the around the greens are not helping that much, right? It's just not a big part of the scoring around here. What has been correlated to success has been off the tee. insane that off the tee is so close to approach, right? But this is where everybody doesn't understand off the tee. Off the tee does not mean driving distance, right? Off the tee means how many strokes you're gaining off the tee, which includes things like accuracy, right? Which includes distance can be included, but if it's 364 yards to unknown, that doesn't help you out, Brandon Matthews. Okay, so you need guys who keep it in play. Okay, a guy who hits it long and straight, this is a very good course for them, right? Which when I think of that, the first guy I always think of is like Victor Hovland, right? John Rahm. Those are guys that hit it long and straight. It's a huge weapon at this course. Approach is important, but weirdly enough, putting, number one, the most important thing. So you're going to want guys who can play well on these fast greens, because as long as they, and by the way, Quail Hollow last year was not at Quail Hollow. It was at TPC Potomac, right? So don't go look at 22. But you got to look at 21. You got to look at, then they didn't play in 2020 because of COVID. You got to look at 19, and you need to look at 18, right? That to me, that's the only three relevant years I'm really going to be looking at. And what does it have in common at all of those? You're going to have fast Bermuda greens, right? You got to be able to roll it well on these fast Bermuda greens. And so, like, if I find somebody who's a good Bermuda putter, likes fast greens, well, like, that's going to be a very appealing thing, because that is the number one place that people who have finished in the top 10 have picked up here, right? So I'm going to put more emphasis on putting this week, and I'm going to be, a little bit contrarian. Yes, off the tee is great, but it doesn't have to be driving distance, right? Approach is great, but they don't have to be the nuts from 200 yards out. There's more than one way to get it done. So that's just a way to really kind of start selecting different players and get on guys that maybe not everybody wants to play. Plus, if I could just say this right now, when there's a bunch of studs, which most of the studs are at this field, right? And when you have a ton of studs to choose from and somebody doesn't want to play one of the studs, you should just always go play that guy, simply just because they're fucking studs and like they can just turn it on any given week. Okay, so hard courses, I always love to fade the chalk way more than I do at, say, a Birdie Fest, right? From there, you can see most of the scoring is getting done on the par fives. A little bit is getting done on the short par fours. And then I think the most important thing you're going to want to see is, look at this, 53% of all approaches come from 175 or longer, right? That's those long par fours, that's of course those par fives, and that's those long par threes. So yes, if somebody is flushing their long irons, mid irons, that's only a huge bonus, right? But to me, it also brings guys into play, guys who might be short off the tee, but that are killing their long irons, right? Like I'm just going to use a guy, Ryan Armour. You could never play Ryan Armour. This course is too long. But if I see Ryan Armour is nails from 200 plus, well, then I would be open to that, right? Brian Harmon is a guy that is definitely not long off the tee, but he is a solid long iron player, and he's just a fucking magician. He's got that little hobbit magic on and around the greens, right? So, like, there is more than one way to get done. Do not fall into the lazy narratives that everybody will say this week that you can only play bombers or guys that are good at long irons. Those are two things to consider, but they are not the only things to consider, because as I told you last week, there will be 3 or 4 guys in the top 10 that will not fit anybody's narrative of who is supposed to be up there, okay? So don't start boxing people out just because of your perceived notion of what kind of player they are. From there, that's basically it, right? It's gonna be a long, brutal course. I've read that the rough is not as punitive this year as it's been in past years, and so maybe the easier, the tougher it is in the greens, around the greens, in the rough, it's going to be a bigger edge for guys who are really good around the green. Justin Thomas is really good around the greens. Jordan Spieth is really good around the greens. Victor Hovland, Colin Morikawa, not good around the greens. But if it's going to be not as difficult, right, like not major level difficult, that probably shrinks that gap a little bit. So then guys like that, to me, become more playable. All right, we looked at historical conditions, tournament history. Remember, you don't want to look at 2022. You don't want to look at 2017. I'm only looking at 18, 19, and 21. As you can see, Rory, I believe he's won this 3 times. I mean, he's a killer at this course, and he's been playing terrible, and he could never do well. Or he could. Strokes gain psychology. Max Homa. When I think of a long, hard course, who do I always think of? Max Homa. But don't get it twisted. Yes, he won this last year, but it was not at Quail Hollow. But he did win it at Quail Hollow in 2019. Moving on, Jason Day has really good history almost everywhere. Just some things to consider here, right? If you want just an early preview of the weather, it looks like it's going to be pretty mild, right? Wednesday's crazy, but no one gives a shit about Wednesday because they don't play on Wednesday, Bob. So Thursday and Friday, the weather looks like it's going to be pretty reasonable. That's why I don't think you're going to see some like brutal like -5 winning it, right? All All right, let's go talk about contest. DraftKings, I'm not happy. I'm not happy, okay? They put out this big milli maker, a 22-22, which is cool, get people excited. I understand why people want to play in a milli maker, but let's face it, most of you watching this aren't even going to consider this. And yes, it is horrific. 50% of all the money to first. The only people who should be playing this are people that have a lot of money and are playing the long game to win these $1 million, and they don't mind putting $10, $20, $30,000 in lineups in this. But if you're playing in contests like this and you wonder why you always lose and you're not one of those people I was talking about, this is why. This contest fucking sucks. From there, the big $20, this is insane to me that with all the big players there, they only did an $800,000 pitch and putt. Like, what the fuck are we doing? This thing will probably easily fill. I think it should have been $1 million at minimum, maybe 1.25. And then it's 25% to first. I just hate that. I mean, look, by the time you get to 10th, what are we at? 140th? That's actually better than it's been a lot of times. But if you just make this $1 million and do $200K to first, this would be really good. I'd actually support even playing in it, even though I don't love lottos, because it ain't easy to beat 47,000 people. Okay, moving on from there, the 555 sucks. It's a third to first. This is everybody's favorite, the new the Drive the Green, the $5. They did bump it up to 300,000 this week, but man, that's 71,000 entrants in there, right? So even though the price, the payout structure is flat and it's a really good structured contest, just know 71,000 people's fucking hard to beat. So you better be playing some sexy pivots and some nasty sleepers, okay? From there, I hate the $200 single entries this week. They're doing a quarter to first on those, and then it just really screws up the payout structure. The other $200 single entry, I thought there was another one. Yeah, for $75,000, they're doing, 27% to first? Probably tell them. I mean, they're just, they're zapping the fun out of them. They're zapping the fun out of it. I don't know why they're doing this. It's a good rule of thumb. If you want to just play in contests that have a payout structure with no more than 20% to first, and it basically fixes everything, right? Like the big $3 max that I bet a lot of you would be interested in. Look at that. Only 8% is going to first. That is awesome. That is a really good structured tournament. Most of your single entries are going to be this way, right? That's why I'm so disappointed that the $200 single entry sucks this week, because, that's part of the reason you play single entries. You play single entries for two main reasons. One, you get to enter the same amount of lineups as everybody else, and two, they tend to have more balanced, well-thought-out prize structures, and they're not lotteries, right? Let's see. So, of course, the $12 single. Hey, they finally got my $10 18 max back. It was starting to feel personal there for a while. This one's pretty good. 12.5 up top, so it drops down a little bit quicker than I'd want, but that's always a good one if you're wanting to play $200 for the week. Go chase those satellites with me, okay? It didn't go so well this last week, but you can't win them every week, Beb. And then from there, that's it, right? So if you're just wanting to decide what to do up top, I would just warn you that the big $20, the big $5, there's just so many damn people in there. You can play in them, but I think you need to be aware when you make lineups in that and you make big, bold pivots, or you have this, less than 1% owned sleeper, just know you're going to need those guys to beat 71,000 people. You're not going to beat them playing 5 chalk guys and 1 half-ass chalk guy, okay? Just know that. So play in it if you want, but just be aware of what you need to do to your roster, okay? From there, don't even have it open. Let's go look at pricing. I have not looked at pricing yet. I would be surprised if anybody's over 11,000 seeing the two big boys aren't there. So I will look at it right now on a Tuesday. And Rory's 11-1? You're going to put Rory McIlroy at 11,100 for the loser himself, Rory. Okay, you have fun with that. I just have a feeling Cantlay is going to be chalky this week, but 10-5 is not exactly cheap, right? Xander's going to get squeezed. Ain't nobody want to pay 10-7 for Xander. I'm just going to tell you that right now. He'll get squeezed. And this is one of those weeks, up high. I could see there being one of two ways to play it up high. You say all these guys, none of them are like definitive, in my opinion. Even the loser Rory. None of these guys are definitive favorites. So maybe you just grab a little bit of equity of all these guys, because up here, there's just so much win equity between these guys. The other thing you just say, well, this course is a brute. I'm just going to zig when everybody zags up top. Everybody wants to play Rory, I'll play Xander. Everybody wants to play Cantlay, I'll play Finau. Everybody wants to play whoever. Homa, I'll play Morikawa. I don't even know where ownership's at yet. I'm just giving you an example. Finau at 10,200 seems reasonable. I think you're going to get an ownership discount on him because people are fucking stupid and don't like to play good players coming off of a win, but I'm pretty sure, wasn't that just last summer? Maybe it was 2 summers ago when Tony Finau won back-to-back. He won whatever, and then he won the 3M, right? So it's not like he's not capable of doing it. I think Morikawa at 9,800, I just don't think I think people are over him. I think they realize what I realized a long time ago. Just don't ever play him, and you will do fine more than you won't. Jordan Spieth, I hope, this is simple. 9,600, I think, is a very fair price for Jordan Spieth. And if everybody wants to play him, I'll sit the fuck out. And if nobody wants to play him, I'll play him. He did do very nice. Him and JT tore this up when they did the President's Cup here just last year, right? That's why they didn't play there last year during the spring, is because that's what they were doing. Max Homa, very fair price, 9,400, long, hard courses. Matthew Fitzpatrick bumped up to 93, seems a little pricey. I think Matthew Fitzpatrick's going to be pretty low owned, sandwiched right between Homa and Hovland and M. Three guys people are going to love at this course. I just have to imagine. M's one of those guys that's, not long off the tee, but he's just, the sum of his parts is greater than any individual part, so and people love that guy. So I got to imagine, man, Fitz with a big old jump. He's been like 8,300 for like this whole year. All right, Jason Day at 9. That's just so weird to see Jason Day back to 9,000, but okay. Jason Day is higher than Justin Thomas. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Justin Thomas at 8,900, man. If we're just going off talent, he is rated too low. But I think Justin Thomas fucking sucks this year. That's my hot take for you, Bob. I don't even think that's really a hot take. I think that's a mathematical fact. He is not very good this year. All right, Ricky Fowler at 8,800. Am I in the fucking twilight zone? Ricky Fowler is 80. Ricky Fowler is more expensive than Cam Young and Sam Burns, Terrell Hatton, Tom Kim. What are we doing? If Ricky Fowler is 20% owned this week, I will die a happy man. I mean, I'm on Team Ricky coming back. I like him, but like 8,800, he is at best an $8,300 golfer. And then not only is he overpriced, people are still going to play that donkey dick, even though Cam Young and Sam Burns are definitively better plays than him. Whatever. It's a great game. Let's see. Tigala, Lowry, Fleetwood. Okay, that's our low 8K guys every week. That makes sense. Fleetwood, Harmon at 8,000. What? Man, for a guy that's normally short, that price is very tall. I mean, I guess he has good course history. He has a scramble. I mean, Brian Harmon is more expensive than Corey Connors. Like, what are we doing? That's just objectively stupid. Whatever. So I have to imagine Corey Connors is going to be popular AF. Keith Mitchell, I think Keith Mitchell will be chalk at 7,800. I'm just glad he's not 7,200, so he won't be 25%. Keegan will be popular. Siwoo, I don't know how people. I feel like people aren't going to want to pay 7,700 for Siwoo. Taylor Moore. Oh, Patrick Rogers is 7,500 in this field. Gross. You could just play Davis Riley and Cam Davis. Denny McCarthy 74. Denny McCarthy. Okay, never mind. I thought, Denny McCarthy should not be 7,400. He should be 6,800. I don't know what that's about, Bob. Not sure what that's about. Kitty Yama at 7,200. Seems like that would be a really nice guy to have as like the 5th or 6th in your lineup. Jaeger bombs. Remember when everybody was spiking the football last week because they all played him? I didn't even see where he finished, but I don't think he did well. Regardless, still don't get choked. All right, anybody else really out of line down here? Man, you got to love these deep fields. You got to love when you can get frickin', some of these dudes. Like, S.H. Kim, I'm kind of starting to like this guy. 7,000, that's not bad. Joseph Bramlett, all about that dude last week. Very warm to him. There's just some good players down here. You're gonna make some lineups this week. You're gonna really like them. You're like, this is the truth. And just know that every lineup you love will never win. It's that nasty, icky one that'll make you win. All right, man. Okay, it's getting pretty ugly down here in the mid 6Ks now. Toasty, all the donkey dicks got there. I'm playing old Tolstoy. Fucking War and Peace. He chose war. All right. This is getting gross. Fuck these guys. Nobody cares about these guys. Although I will say, there's worse things in the world than playing like what was Kevin Tway? Kevin Tway at 6,000, the bare minimum. I mean, I could actually see that. I don't know. Hey, Ryan Armour, I made a reference to him. So long story short, what am I seeing here? I think I don't know. This is just the first feels. I think that ownership is going to be very dispersed up top. I would guess that Rory and Cantlay will eat up most of it. Xander, Finau, Morikawa will probably be discounted, would be my guess out of those top 5 there. Finau because he's coming off the win. Xander is just in a weird sandwich price between those two, and I think people are just kind of over Morikawa, right? And they'll be like, oh, you can't play him. This course is too long for him, and he's not good at chipping. Okay, well, or I'll just go play him, right? I don't like Morikawa, but if nobody wants to play him, I like him just fine. If he's going to be like something stupid like 8 or 9% owned, okay, I'm in. To me, this is I love this range right here. This Spieth through probably, I don't know, I think we go all the way to Justin Thomas. There's just a lot of win equity at very fair prices here. It would not be crazy to see Spieth, Homa, Fitz, Hovland, M, or Day win. And I feel like all those guys actually all offer relatively safe floors too. It feels like all those guys, worst case scenario, are going to get like T28 or something, right? So I would love to just start a build with 3 of these guys right here, and then drop down to that mid 7K range. That just seems like that would be a good build, right? Because Patrick Cantlay, I'm pretty sure. I should go look this up, but I'd rather just talk out of my ass. I'm pretty sure he's really good at easy courses. I am not convinced he's good at hard courses. See his majors record. So, I hope Cantlay becomes popular, and I think just whoever nobody's playing up here, that's who I'll lean towards, because you know what? They're all good, and they can all fall apart, so let's just play the game. Just off the top of my head, I have to imagine Thomas is going to be chalky just because 8,900 is ridiculous, and I got to imagine Cam Young's going to be very chalky. 8,700, I feel like he should probably be like 91. So I think he'll be super popular. I think Keith Mitchell will be very popular. I think Keegan will be popular. I pray that Patrick Rogers is popular, morons. Let's see. Anybody else? Denny McCarthy will not be popular. There you go. There's my bold call. All right, guys. I think that does it. We looked at the course breakdown. We looked at the contest, and we looked at pricing thoughts. Don't forget, come check out my website, dgen75.com, the fastest growing community in PGA DFS. I have a whole bunch of winners from last week. Well, we haven't done the new one. That'll be on the stream tomorrow. Don't forget to come check out the stream 7 p.m. tomorrow. And of course, like and subscribe. Tell a friend. We are blasting past 3,000. I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you've enjoyed this show. I'll be back soon to do the emergency stream. This is going to be a fun week. Let's go get it, you motherfathers.